You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motorcars and by Wellington Anti-Aging. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Whoa, what's up? Lots of stuff to cover today on the show. Got the World Cup actually going down right now, baby.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a distraction. I want to go watch it. Can we do this later?
I know, right? Just got to put up on that big old TV up there and then you can start ignoring me.
That's it. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be much help today.
Well, I got a friend of mine that's in Belgium right now. And he's slightly worried. They had a really nice setup for the last game, but it's raining there right now. If you're watching us on YouTube.
Oh, no.
You can see they got the big old screen that is set up there to watch the game, but the rain's coming down. He's like, I hope this isn't a bad sign.
Oh, man. What are the chances it rains in Belgium when that game is going on? Belgium's like a tiny country. I mean, come on.
Super small, yeah.
Yeah.
Super small.
You would think it would just kind of miss the entire country.
Yeah, so I asked him, I said, so what is the take here today? Belgium is going up against France. You guys feel confident you're going to win? He said, they say we are stronger individually and a better team, but
True.
There's still the chance factor and what he says, the beauty of the game.
Yes, that's right.
That's true soccer talk because I'm like, wait, what? What does
That's
that
right.
even mean? The beauty of the game.
It's a beautiful game, Kevin.
Is that what it is?
It is.
It's
very
a beautiful game. That's what they say, huh? Is that like Belgium for boring?
Yeah.
Is that how they justify lack of scoring? But it's the beauty of the game.
It's code, yeah. That's what it is.
Is that what we're looking at here?
They should win, though. Belgium does have... Here's my soccer analysis. This is going to be very exciting.
Okay, all right.
Belgium does have the better talent, the better team. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, we got to set the stage here for Belgium versus France.
That sounds good.
Oui, oui, and you should do it in a French accent.
And that actually works for Belgium, too.
They both speak the same language.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. Good
Yeah,
job.
sacre le bleu.
They should win.
No, good. The beauty of the game.
So beautiful.
Yeah, so he's got a big screen TV that they have set out there, but the attendance looks light compared to the last time. We might get more here.
Yeah, really.
They're doing this massive 46-foot long screen that's floating on the Miami River behind American Social and Brickell today. They're doing the same thing, for England, Croatia tomorrow.
Wow.
And then on Sunday, they're going to move it to Hall over Sandbar for the World Cup final at 11 a.m. on Sunday.
And why aren't we doing a live show from there?
I know, right?
I mean, that sounds amazing.
Sounds pretty well. That's how Miami does it, right?
That's true.
I think Miami's actually doing it better than Belgium now.
I think they are.
And
And for once, it's not raining down here.
I know, right? So there you go.
Go figure.
Other things going on. Europe, but different part. Serena. She's looking like she is back. She is already in the Final Four at Wimbledon. She won today. If you didn't check it out, she's advanced. It's her first Grand Slam semifinal in 18 months. She's, I don't know. Who knows? How cool would that be if she comes right back?
It's like I said yesterday. I would not be surprised at all to see her win this entire thing. I said she'd get to the semis. I'm telling you, I would not be surprised. She's great.
Yeah,
She's great.
Did you see any Vegas odds on Serena in Wimbledon when she was going in?
You know, I didn't, and normally I'm up to date on the odds.
Yeah.
I'm an odds guy.
7-time champ. She won it in 2016, and the only reason why she didn't win it in 2017 is because she was, birthing a baby. Birthing a baby.
Yeah, there's that.
So she looks good. She's in the Final Four. So that's going on. Other stuff that's happening today, the NFLPA is filing a grievance against the NFL about the national anthem.
There was so much that literally came out. There was all this news that just came flying in our faces in the past hour.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. It's
was.
out. You kind of saw this was going to happen, and I think they were pissed off because the NFL just really didn't even consult them, and that's kind of their thing. So now apparently the NFL is willing to start confidential discussions with the NFL Players Association, but okay, you've already kind of laid down this edict of what it's going to be, and the president. Here's the whole thing. The NFL has lost and lost. They've lost with the players. Nobody seems to like it. The president, who it seems like for whatever odd reason is what they care most about appeasing.
Yes.
He's trashed it. So
Yes.
it's like you've lost on every count. The NFL has lost in every way possible with this whole thing.
That's true.
So do you just throw it away and say, okay, we screwed up, we're idiots, and come back and try to come up with a new policy and make it look like you jumped the gun and you don't know what you're doing? Or do you try to hold to your guns and say, look, this is what we're going to keep it with. We don't care if you hate it, if the president hates it, if our fans hate it, if our players hate it,
It's bad,
if
man.
our owners hate it.
Everybody hates it, but I think they kind of made their own bed here.
Yeah, I mean, where do you go with this? I mean, and how do you try to amend this thing to make it different or better?
Can they, though? And see, that's what I'm saying. And
Not
it's
without looking like idiots. I think
Right.
they're going to look stupid. I don't know how. I mean, their best bet is somehow so it looks like maybe a subtle shift that the NFLPA buys into, and they talk to the players and say, you know, we found a way to make them happy. They could maybe tag something and hang something on this that makes the players feel good, that doesn't look like a 180 or an about face. But aside from that, I think they're going to look like fools.
Yeah, I don't know what else you can do because, like I said, they made their own bed here. And now they tried to appease President Trump, right, by doing this because...
and then when he trashes, they're like, well, we're just screwed.
they're screwed. I mean, they came
Yeah.
out with this, and he still didn't like it. So
Yeah.
it's like, what do we do? And now, I mean, what else are you supposed to do? Because now he's still making fun of you.
Yeah.
You have the NFLPA on top of you saying that it infringes on the players' rights.
Well, they're doing now what they should have done in the first place. They should have included the NFLPA, the Players Association, because that really is what matters. Say, hey, look, are we
Right.
coming up with a good policy here? Because you need to have everybody jointly buy into it. If you come up with a policy that the players trash, which they did, and then the president trashes it, you've double lost on both fronts, and now you're trying to like save face. It's like you're doing now what you should have done initially. I don't know how the NFL comes out of this without looking like fools.
I mean, I think that's also part of the problem, too, is that they already do look like fools.
Yeah.
And it's just, where do they go from here? There's really there's no
It's
way to
stupid.
fix this for them.
No, No, they look bad.
Yeah.
Other news today, they got all those kids out of the cave.
Yeah.
And the coach.
And the coach.
Wonder how it goes for the coach. I mean, is he going to... it sounded like from one report I'd heard that the parents were cool, but maybe this is something that just goes on in Thailand. Maybe the media is misrepresenting, because I can't imagine in America that you would take 12 boys into a cave, it gets flooded, their lives are at risk. This happens over the course of what, like, is it 18 days, something like that they've been in there?
Yeah, it was almost 3
Over
weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
And all the parents like going, hey, cool, I'm just glad you guys are okay. In America, when you got 12 boys in there, probably 10 of the parents are going to be super pissed at this coach.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're angry when they don't play your kid. Imagine how it's going to be if you get him stuck in a cave
You
for
took
3
my
weeks.
kid into a cave for almost 3 weeks.
Good luck.
How did this wind up in the first place? I mean, it's monsoon season. You didn't know this going in. This has never happened. There was never a risk. It was a complete fluke.
And why did they go so far into the cave, too?
Right. There's a lot of questions, and this is it, that I don't know the complete details, but I'm sure a lot of answers are going to come out. And these are 11 to 16-year-old boys. They had to call out the Navy SEALs from Thailand to try to make this thing happen. And a diver, keep in mind, a volunteer diver lost his life.
Yeah.
Who are they hanging that on?
It's true.
America, we love blaming people. Maybe it's different in Thailand, but...
It's true. I mean, I did read somewhere that the coach might actually face some type of charges, some negligence, whatever you want to call it here. I mean, he's just being stupid.
So
Why are
if they
you
got
taking
to the
those
level,
kids in there?
how are the parents cool? I mean, they can't be.
No.
So
I know I wouldn't be.
If I'm the coach and they're taking me out of this cave, I'm like, don't drive me to where the parents are.
Run.
I'm like, I just survived one deathly situation.
Right.
That's probably more dangerous. 12 pissed off parents. I almost killed all their kids.
12 sets of parents.
Right, you're right.
Yeah.
It's likely 24.
12 angry moms.
Yeah.
Good luck. That's even worse. My gosh. Well, I'm glad they made it out. I mean, it really is an incredible story. All kidding aside, it's literally a miracle that they all came out alive. Usually those things don't end very well.
They usually don't end very well,
No.
no. Yeah. Well, there's another story that has broken today involving the NFL and a Pro Bowl player, LaShawn McCoy. Some pretty serious accusations that I think could call into question his career, whether he plays this year What are the charges? What is his response? We got both that for you coming up next.
Get Kevin's other show whenever the hell you want on YouTube and at 640thehurricane.com.
Well, a very disturbing story about LaShawn McCoy coming out here today. Now, these are just accusations. I just want to say that. And it all comes from an Instagram post that maybe you've already seen. If not, it is on the 640 The Hurricane Instagram page right now. It is a post that shows a photo. It's before and after of a woman that is supposedly his girlfriend, and we don't even know. Nothing has been confirmed on that. Now, the after photo shows her in a hospital bed with a swollen and bloodied face. She looks horrible. Freshly beaten, fresh blood running down her face. The text in the post says, LaShawn McCoy is, in caps, the devil. In caps, you are an animal. We didn't say anything about how you beat your dog Henny into kidney failure. Let's not talk about all the times my best friend had to stop you from viciously, in all caps, beating your son for small things like peeing in the bed. We kept quiet about your drug usage, all the, in all caps, illegal steroids and needles you were using. But we will not keep quiet about this. I can't believe you did this to my best friend. In all caps, your karma is going to be so real. The world needs to know what type of animal you really are. This was just her yesterday on the left, and now, this morning, this is her on the right. Hashtag woman beater, hashtag animal abuser, hashtag child abuser. Now, I don't know how you come off with a more damning post. You're talking about allegations of domestic abuse, beating your kid, beating a dog, taking performance-enhancing drugs, any of these charges. And we've actually even seen this of other NFL players face off against any one of just these four by themselves. And it's been a problem for a lot of these players. Now, if there's any truth to all four of these, LaShawn McCoy and his playing career in the NFL is in serious trouble. Now, he has actually responded, and he said, for the record, the totally baseless and offensive claims made against me today on social media are completely false. Furthermore, I have not had any direct contact with any of the people involved in months. Now, if he can prove that, that really calls into question this post, at least the part that he was responsible for this woman. Like I said, we don't even know that this is his girlfriend.
Right.
Whoever this woman is, the before and after, and that's very recent because she says this was just her yesterday on the left, and now this morning this is her on the right. So if he hasn't seen her in months, immediately they've made a claim in this post that if he can prove that, that's not true. So then that calls into question, is he abusive to his son? Is he abusive to his dog? Is he taking performance-enhancing drugs? So you see a lie in one, you got to question the other three, to be fair to him.
There's a lot, and I mean, I know you went over them all, and there's a lot of accusations in there where him just saying, I haven't seen these people in months, doesn't really cover all the accusations they put against you. I mean, just because you haven't seen them in months, it doesn't mean she's lying about you beating your kid or almost killing your dog or taking steroids. I mean, okay, it might explain a way that you did not beat her and put her in the hospital with, I mean, the picture is like seared into my brain. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's nasty. I mean, it's as bad as you can imagine. Like I said, you can go see it on our Instagram account, but it is bad.
That's the only one it would explain away. That's the only one. I mean, what else? Like I said, those other three, okay, well, maybe they're just holding on to that information. You haven't seen them in months. Well, it doesn't mean that they didn't see you months ago beating your kid or almost beating your dog to death or taking steroids.
In fact, if you're watching our YouTube show right now on
rough.
Kevin's other show. I've got the photo up there. You can check it out and see it right there from the Instagram, the before and the after, to see what that looks like. So, yeah, if one of these charges is true, he's in serious trouble. His career and should be. We've discussed this, saying, okay, and how do you judge this? Now, to me, the lightest charge in this is the performance-enhancing drugs. You're looking at a couple-game suspension. I mean, even the animal abuse. We see Michael Vick has had that one. The child abuse. We had that with Vikings running back
Adrian Peterson.
Yes, and his kid, and he was just disciplining, supposedly. And some people would say, well, you have the right to discipline, but he did too violently. We've seen the domestic charges. So, yeah, the Bills right now are investigating and looking at this. And to be fair to LeSean McCoy, it's not like he has one of the worst reputations. I mean, just even kind of looking to see, does he have anything from his past? The only thing is September 2014, he leaves a very small tip at a burger joint in Philadelphia. He claimed it was because of bad service, and the owner of that restaurant claimed that he was verbally abusive and made, quote, derogatory comments about women. That's the worst thing. Just on a quick search, you're going to find about LeSean McCoy. So,
which isn't. I mean, if that's true, then that's bad too, because then you are, talking down to people and saying nasty things to people.
Yeah, but that doesn't make the connection to any of these four heinous charges to what's going on here. So due process has got to take charge. But if really any of these four are true, then the Bills running back is looking at missing either some serious games this season, or he may be looking at missing his entire career.
Yep.
It may be done for LeSean McCoy. Now, we had a debate yesterday. Vandarius Cohen. We got looking at a lot of different pronunciations here. We got Chris Kokel on with us, the coach, Coach K, who has got a show here on 640 The Hurricane, Saturday morning at 10. You can hear it. He is the defensive coordinator with Jensen Beach High School, knows his stuff, talking high school football. Welcome to the show here, Coach.
Thanks, Kevin. And it's Cowan and Kokel.
Oh, there we go. We got
That's
both.
what I was going to say, yeah. Cowan and Kokel.
There it is.
Okay. Now, tell
Might
me.
be the new show if you can't find a team to pick them up. I might be the new show on the Hurricane. The
Okay.
Cowan and Kokel show.
Okay, so you got the Cowan and Kokel show. Vandarius here was released from Alabama. He's a 5-star, if you don't know, from Palm Beach Gardens High School. And you've seen the video. I didn't get a chance to check it yet, but I know the story. He's 19 years old, and last month he was leaving a bar in Tuscaloosa and got into a little dust-up with a 26-year-old and punched him apparently pretty good, like knocked a tooth out, nerve damage, all that kind of stuff. What did you see, Chris, in the video that happened that got Vandarius booted from the Crimson Tide?
All right, so Vandarius, you see him in the back corner of the video of the High Tide, a bar in Tuscaloosa. He's walking out, and a guy bumps into him, and it almost looks like he's intentionally bumping into him. Vandarius kind of shoves him away. Not even a shove, like just that arm push-off. In a crowded bar, it's kind of how you get through, especially in a college bar. Anyone who's been in that scene knows you're going to get bumped into. That's part of the deal. The kid mouths off. You see him move his head up and down. Mouths off, says something, Vandarius just turns, and it was just one punch. One punch hit him, people grabbed Vandarius, and escorted them out of the bar.
So, it sounds kind of sticky there, right? I mean, if you're in that situation, that can happen to anybody. I mean, if you get, bumped into, somebody says something wrong, and then all of a sudden it just tempers flare, and there you go.
Yeah, I mean, he's 19, and look, Nick Saban, he's drowning in 5-stars.
Yeah, really.
So, he's got the luxury of, if any of his 5-stars mess up, then, yeah, you can go. Now, Vandarius, obviously, he's got a lot of stars in front of him, hadn't had a lot of playing time. I think, last year he only had 2 tackles. He got into the Mercer game. That's their next to last regular season game at Alabama last year, and that's an FCS opponent. Gets a couple of tackles there. Is Nick Saban at Alabama going to have the same response and boot somebody off the team that comes in as a freshman and is highly productive? I don't know. Maybe not. But I think the question is, because last night, Matt Lincoln, our good friend over at CBS 12,
Sure.
we were kind of going back and forth on Twitter. And what should happen to him? Now, Coach, you hit me up last night, and you said, I hope people don't pile on Vandarius. He was great in every interaction I've had with him. He will land on his feet. Matt Lincoln kind of felt another way, and I said, look, I did worse things when I was 19, and Matt Lincoln said, except there are 19-year-olds all around him that are doing the right things, and if college teams line up to sign him, then how is this a learning opportunity at all? And I was like, okay, so what exactly happens? And Matt Lincoln said, well, he could certainly play at Kaiser football for a year, stay out of trouble, and then transfer to a high D1. Chris Coquel, what do you think happens with Vandarius? Because I was throwing out, okay, hey, is Lane Kiffin already on the phone with this kid? You know, because he's kind of like the last chance you of D1. Do you see this kid landing in Boca Raton, or does he go another route?
I think there's a couple different options he can go, and I think you're right. I mean, say you accidentally drop an F-bomb on one of your shows, the people at the Hurricane, they're going to say, okay, Kevin made a mistake. If I come out Saturday 10 a.m. and drop one in the beginning, they're like, well, that was a good experiment. He's gone. You know, you have to build up clout. Vandarius never built up that clout at the college game yet. So Alabama says, okay, we can move on. Now there's a Lane Kiffin at FAU that says, we're never going to get a 5-star unless there's a checkered pass. So let's open it up. He could go the JUCO route. Last Chance U is now at Independence College in the Jayhawk Conference, one of the best college conferences in the junior college world to produce Division I talent. He can go somewhere like that where he can actually have cameras on him to reshape his image while the show is being taped this year. Or he could just sit the year, go somewhere like maybe Tennessee, or go somewhere with all these coaches that recruited him. Yes, he ended up at Alabama, but I'm sure his phone was blowing up day in and night out while he was waiting through this recruiting process and even beyond. And I'm sure those coaches saved that number, and I'm sure a lot of them have already reached out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what route he goes. And, you know, right now, DeAndre Johnson, who could be the starting quarterback for the Owls this year, I think his crime was a lot more egregious. He punched a chick in the face in a Tallahassee bar. And here with Vandarius Cowan here, you're like saying, okay, hey, he might have been provoked. It was a 26-year-old guy. He's 19. Sure, it's not good, and he was, you know, charged with misdemeanor assault. But to me, I don't think it's as bad as what DeAndre Johnson did. Am I wrong in that?
Kevin, the guy who got punched, his brother is the one who posted the video on Twitter, and it looked like they were trying to go for a fame grab there. He actually posted all the back-and-forth private messages, and Vandarius the whole time just repeated, was like, I'm sorry. I should not have hit him. He said something I didn't like, and I apologize to you.
All right.
And then the guy challenged Vandarius to a fight, and Vandarius apologized again. Said, I'm not here to fight anyone. I shouldn't have done it. It just shouldn't have happened.
Coming up on Saturday, 10 a.m., I assume you're going to be picking up this story and talking about it right here on 640 The Hurricane?
Yeah, we'll be talking about that. We have Jude Blessington from Forest Hill coming on, the head coach. We also have one of the talented guys from the opening, who they were out at the opening. The biggest high school display will be on the show as well.
Cool. Chris Coquel, we'll check it out on Saturday. Thanks for coming on talking to us, bud.
No problem. Thank you.
Well, coming up here, does L.A. not want LeBron? Do they not like LeBron? And what is he doing to kiss their butt today to get them to like him? I'll tell you about it next.
Yep, he's here too. It's Kevin's Other Show, right here on 640 The Hurricane.
Is ESPN pushing the NBA too much?
Yes. Oh, wait, was there more? I'm sorry.
Or are these stories legit, and should we care about them, or are we only watching because this is the only thing that is on TV? Now, I was watching ESPN today, and I just looked up at ESPN. Oh, no, wait, that's actually Fox. Okay.
That's all right, though.
That's our boy Colin Cowherd.
Yeah. They're both doing the same thing. It's okay.
Is he talking about it because ESPN's talking about it?
Could be.
Okay, I'm just trying to sort out, because is the storylines happening right now in the NBA that exciting? They are completely. We just had the All-Stars announced in baseball, home run derby story, which we're going to get to coming up. But even we have bounced the home run derby story to the last segment of the show.
Right.
Usually meaning it's not the best stuff to lead with.
Right.
So here we are even bouncing it. Are we doing it because shouldn't the home run derby and the fact that Stanton and Judge are not going to take part in it be maybe a bigger conversation topic than talking about whatever we've been trudging up about NBA free agency for the umpteenth day? I mean, when it gets to the point where I turned on ESPN today and they're talking about LeBron James delivering pizza to LA, and this is one of their top stories, and there's nothing to be said about the MLB All-Star Game, anything about the Home Run Derby, which, I mean, by the way, is a week away.
Right, it's next week.
1 week away. Next Tuesday is when this goes down, and there's no talk at all about Major League Baseball on ESPN. I haven't seen any of it. I had it on pretty much all day long today.
Yeah, they're not talking about it at all. And it's kind of funny, isn't it? I mean, it's weird. This is kind of what we were saying yesterday, too, in that I don't know if it's the marketing with baseball or if you have, the commissioner kind of in the back pocket of some of these networks and saying, hey, keep talking about us.
I don't think they have the incentive. And I think the marketing is ESPN, and that's the deal that was signed. You look at this deal that the NBA has signed with ESPN through 2025, and it's a $1.4 billion per season deal. And so ESPN's got a lot invested into the NBA.
That makes sense.
And they're saying, look, we have to put our best people to talk about the NBA, to find the storylines. We've got to dedicate the airtime to it to create this. And so that's why I asked this question. Is it really that fascinating, or is ESPN just doing that good of a job of finding a story? I mean, when they talk about LeBron James is going to be out delivering pizza to the citizens of Culver City, California today to try to win them over, are we saying that's really amazing?
Right.
Or are we seeing that ESPN is just trying to create a storyline because they've got a $1.4 billion investment in the NBA and they've got to find a story, and so they're pulling whatever they can out of their ass that we're going to talk about?
I'd say that I'm leaning more toward that.
Well, I mean, here we are. We got the G League that is on, and on Monday there were 10 Summer League games televised between ESPN2 and ESPNU. I mean, is what's going on in the G League all of a sudden this season, we never really seen it before, that great and that dynamic, and we should care about that much that you're going to televise 10 games?
Yeah, I was so confused. Every time I go by that, I'm like, why are they showing this on TV? Who cares about this?
They seem to be dedicating more to the NBA G League than they are dedicating to the MLB All-Star Game, which is 1 week away.
I smell conspiracy here.
Well, it smells. You see where their interests are.
They're pushing their product is what it is.
Absolutely.
They're pushing their product, and because they have all that money invested, like you said, $1.4 billion deal they signed with the NBA through 2025, then they are going to help push that product. And that's what's happening, to the point where now they are just completely ignoring baseball.
Yeah, completely. I mean, you don't really see any kind of like chatter about it at all. I mean, except for the MLB Tonight. It seems like everything Major League Baseball. I don't know what the deal is with ESPN and Major League Baseball and how big the contract is. I mean, does it even come anywhere close to the $1.4 billion that they have wrapped up in the NBA every single year? It would seem like they would not.
No, I don't think it is. And it's not like, ESPN doesn't pay attention to baseball because they have Sunday Night Baseball. Like, that's one of their staples, is to show Sunday Night Baseball. And, they have like the Little League World Series, and that'll be coming up next month. They have the College World Series. Mm-hmm. So it's on there. But, I mean, I'm with you. It's just weird how they lead with all of this stuff. Maybe it's just because that's the drama, and they feel like that's what people want to hear about. Oh, was LeBron actually going to go to Philly? Did Kyrie ever want LeBron to come back to Cleveland? It's all this drama, reality TV, Kardashian society that we live in now, where people, they want to hear about the drama. They want to be interested and intrigued by these human storylines.
One storyline that is fascinating to me, and it seems like there's a tone about LeBron James after everybody was piling so much praise on him with the effort he put forward in the NBA Finals and throughout the playoffs. And he's the king, and he's coming to Los Angeles, and there's so much hype. It seemed weird that it's almost like you've heard the stories now that maybe Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to play with him. Kyrie Irving didn't want him to come back to Cleveland. They have the mural of him in Los Angeles that people keep defacing that says, hey, the king is in L.A., and that seems to be an ongoing problem. Now here he is, and you talk about the sideline business deals. This is Blaze Pizza, by the way, that he owns 10% of. So
there's
this
that
is
too.
A huge push. So, I mean, is LeBron then somehow wrapped into ESPN? Because whenever dollars and people stand to make some kind of money, there's got to be some kind of deal that's going on somewhere. He put about $35 to $40 million into this company, and that's what he's going to be delivering to people in Culver City, trying to win over Los Angeles, saying, hey, okay, it does seem odd the reception that LA is giving LeBron to this point. I mean, is it overall praise and love? I thought I would expect a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like you have your dissenters, and I think the vandalism came. Somebody like put a bounty out on Twitter that they would pay.
They did
anybody
$300.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
not that much.
$300, really? And who are you? And did you even pay? I never even heard that part of it.
That's more than the fine you would have to pay if you're caught for vandalism. I mean,
yeah,
it's less. I'm sorry, they had to pay more than $300. And I don't know if this has anything to do with the the same type of people who vandalized his house a couple of years back when he was playing in Cleveland. They put those racial slurs on his home in LA, one of his homes in Los Angeles. I don't know if I mean it's just the same type of crowd where you have this small group of just weirdos out there. I don't know.
Well, I think LA might be a lot tougher to win over than Cleveland. Maybe LA was like, I don't care, man. We're a city full of stars. You think you're coming here and be the biggest thing in town? Maybe not.
That's true. Yeah.
That might be what LeBron is finding out. Well, it is our last segment, so we're going to make it baseball.
Fair enough.
What should they do with the home run derby? Major League Baseball's got some problems. Luckily, we got the solutions we'll discuss coming up next.
It's Derek Jeter's favorite sports show, just like Derek Jeter is Florida's favorite owner. Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Christian Yelich spent 5 years with the Miami Marlins. Back in town last night. And he said before the game, I really did enjoy my 5 years here. He did then talk about the ups and, of course, the downs, which did happen. And in his return to Marlins Park last night, went 1 for 4, had a single to left in his first at bat of the game. But other than that, a little bit of noise late in the game wasn't enough. His first trip back to Marlins Park, and he's used to losing there, and he lost again last night. 4-3 the final, 10 innings.
He really was home.
Yeah, he's like, same old park. I'm here, I lose again.
Yep, felt right at home. As long as you're at Marlins Park and you lose, you'd be like, that's the home cooking I remember.
Marlins getting used to playing those extra inning games. That was their third one in the Marlins' last 4 home games. So, going up against a good bullpen, it was kind of odd. And home runs actually were a big part of the Marlins' win yesterday. And the Marlins had the fewest home runs in the National League.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's something I'm not surprised about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the people that gave it up, the bullpen for the Brewers is actually the best in the NL. So,
well, didn't 59 of those go somewhere? 59 of those home runs.
Oh, yeah, about that.
Oh, wait, it's time to talk annoying Yankee stuff. Yeah. Leo's in here.
It's like he just popped out of nowhere, too. Like, we started talking baseball, and he just popped out of the ground. It was amazing,
just
really.
Felt it. I felt it in my bones.
Here he is.
Yeah.
I got to, listen. I'm not a happy Yankees fan. I'm actually pretty upset.
Oh, boy. What problems do you have today, Leo?
What are the problems? Let me see. Okay, so yesterday, the Yankees went into Baltimore, a team that had lost 6 in a row.
Yeah.
14 out of 15. 22 out of 24.
Yeah.
Those are not good records.
And found a way against a pitcher with an 8 ERA to lose that first game. And, John Sterling, who's the radio broadcaster of the Yankees, who you hear on 640,
yes,
said it beautifully. He said, the Yanks don't beat the teams they should. The Red Sox do.
Yeah.
And that's the difference in this division right now. When you face back-to-back Triple-A pitchers, you're supposed to hit them, and the Yankees don't. And it's been that way since I can't remember. The kryptonite of the Yankees is the no-name 15th round, had one game in my entire life pitcher who comes in and throws 7 shutout innings. Or it's the guy who's hitting a $171 who hasn't hit a home run for 4 seasons, who hits a game-deciding 3-run bomb. So these are the people.
But this is a mentality, then, you're saying that comes with the uniform. This isn't new. This isn't the players that they have in the dugout right now. This is just something that when you put on the pinstripes, it comes with arrogance and confidence that you expect to trounce these teams, and so you don't take them seriously?
I'll go on the other side of that. It's the pinstripes playing against them that makes normal, scrubby players decide they want to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
It's the guys that are hitting 240 on a 10-year, multi-million-dollar contract that decide, oh, the Yankees are here. Now I don't want to suck for 3 games.
Well, you get a spotlight for a game, which normally you might not, especially when you're looking at the Orioles right now.
So the difference there is, and I'm not saying that the Red Sox don't get that same spotlight. The Red Sox just go in and match that intensity. This is just from me as a...
But they, I mean, to be fair, they don't. I mean, it's not the same spotlight, is it? I mean, you look at how many world championships you got in New York and how many you got in Boston. And
but right now,
the light is brighter.
I agree.
In New York.
I do agree. And I would say that for a team like Baltimore or a team like the Blue Jays, these are all divisional teams. A team like the the Rays, they're not as annoyed at Boston as they are the Yankees. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could see a team like Toronto playing their hearts out for 3 games against the Yankees and then go into Boston and literally score 2 runs in 4 games. Mm-hmm. It happens constantly.
And I could see why you or any other Yankee fan would be upset about this, because I didn't know this, and I looked it up just now, the standings, just to kind of get a feel.
Oh, my God.
A feel for the difference between what the Yankees have done and Baltimore have done.
The Baltimore Orioles have
really bad.
They've lost more games than the Yankees have won.
Yes. No, he's right. The Orioles have lost 66 games, and the Yankees have won 59. They're 25 and 66, the worst record in baseball.
And by the way, just so you understand this, they're like 4 and 6 against the Yankees this year. So a high percentage of the games they've actually won are against the Yankees.
They have a better win percentage against the Yankees.
Now you've got your manager there, Buck Showalter, who will always be angry that the 95 strike cost him being the Yankee manager that took them to the World Series, okay? Because after that, they parted ways with him. Here comes in Joe Torre, who hadn't won anything his entire life, and comes in and walks into basically what's going on right now. It was a team that was rebuilt and ready to go on this amazing run. It's what Aaron Boone has stumbled into with what's happening now. The difference is Joe Torre knew how to manage. Aaron Boone... Ugh.
Not loving Aaron Boone, huh?
Oh, my God.
Not loving him, huh?
What is he doing?
Listen, I hear the guy does great impressions. Can he just do an impression of a manager that knows how to manage a baseball game? How to use a bullpen?
Why? Like, what is it that they're doing that they are losing to these bad teams? They're 37.5 games out of first place, Baltimore. How do you lose to somebody like that consistently?
And you got that Chris Davis story. I mean, having one of the worst years ever for a former All-Star.
It just, it'll be times when, there should be a pinch hitter, he won't pinch hit. It'll be lefty against lefty. He's got a righty that they just called up. Brandon Drury sitting on the bench. They don't pinch hit him. They leave Bird in. Bird strikes out on 3 balls that are 9 feet out of the zone. I mean, those are the types of things that he does constantly where, like yesterday, you knew CC was gassed. CC was just giving up hit after hit after hit. It was over. It was the 6th inning. What does he do? He leaves him in to face a right-handed batter who, what a surprise, hits a 3-run homer that essentially wins the game. Go to your bullpen. What are you saving people for?
You hang that more on...
I hang about 15
Boone?
Right now, 15 losses to date on Aaron Boone right now.
Can you change out managers midseason?
I mean, you can. Here's the thing, and here's the argument I get from every Yankee fan out there. Well, it's kind of hard to argue against a guy who's got the 2nd record in baseball. Listen, I get it. The Yankees do a lot of winning in spite of how ignorant this guy is.
But today, you do. I mean, today in all sports, you do see successful coaches get replaced.
Yes.
Look at Toronto in the NBA.
Ask Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, that's a good point, too.
Back-to-back Super Bowls. You're fired. I mean, it happens.
It does.
So, I don't know. I feel like they like the attitude he has with the players. The young players respond to him. There's a looseness about the Yankees. I do feel like the Yankees as a team genuinely really like each other, which is cool to see. When they're struggling, they're there. They're trying to help each other out. I'm just that annoyed fan that knows these guys could literally be up 6 games right now on the Red Sox.
Well, I mean, the bottom line, you get to the playoffs, you're going to face good teams, and so that's
true.
It's
true.
You like that Judge and Stanton aren't doing the home run derby?
I do. And I think that every Yankee should stop doing the home run derby until they fix Judge's strike zone. Until you stop calling strikes at Judge's ankles, until you stop with the ridiculousness of not adjusting to a 6'7" human being, the Yankees should say anything that we do that will get you recognition and ratings, we're not doing. We're not doing it until you fix it. That's what I would do.
How do you fix a home run derby though? Because I mean,
how do you make it bigger than last year? It was the biggest rated home run derby of all time.
Yeah, but then the guys who are getting you the ratings aren't going to be around.
Maybe you should have been nicer. Maybe you shouldn't have screwed him on all the strike calls you're giving him. Maybe, like, I don't know.
You think this is more a power play than it's just, I think we're just going to sit it out?
I think Judge, after his second half last year and he was a little hurt, I think he's like, dude, I'm not trying to mess with this anymore. Stanton's already done his thing. They've already proven it. Judge is like, I've won the home run derby in college.
Right, so you get him early, but you don't get him later.
Yeah.
Who was it came up with the Legends idea?
That was something we were talking about a couple weeks ago.
Why not?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Let's bring Sammy Sosa in, hit him up with a great shot of roids, give him a cork bat, and let him tee off.
You might need to bring the fences in just a little bit for these guys.
That's
it's
right.
like old timers game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Some
Have
wiffle
some fun
bats.
with it.
Be nice.
All right. Hey, you want to check us out on YouTube? You can. We got the podcast as well. Easy to find. Then go follow us on Twitter. Just look for Kevin's Other Show.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm Beach. A world-class experience. Shop BremenPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.